Greetings, YouTube. My wife, my mother-in-law, and I went to see the latest version of A Christmas Carol on Friday, Christmas itself. It seemed somewhat appropriate. Now, releasing a new version of A Christmas Carol is kind of a no-brainer. It's going to be really difficult to fail. It's a classic story. It's been told 100 times. It's been done seriously. It's been done humorously. Most notably Scrooged with Bill Murray, which is the best funny version of that story ever done. It's been done in America and in Britain to death. There was a British version that came out on BBC a few years ago that I watched, which was set in a modern setting, and Scrooge was a loan shark, and I never figured out who was in it or what it was. Remember exactly the title, but it was an incredibly good version. I really enjoyed it. So I knew what to expect when I went into the theater. I was expecting solid CGI animation. I got that. I was expecting some good voice work. I got that. What I wasn't really expecting, because I hadn't looked into this film a great deal at all, was how far they had diverged from the story. Now, not just stylistically, I expect that. You're changing the medium, you just, new actors, new directors, new producers, a new era will do that. But they really took it into a fantasy level that I thought was inappropriate to the story. Now, I understand why they did this. They're doing a CGI movie. Everything in that film is just pixels in a computer. So if you're going to be doing this, if you do a perfectly faithful version, or you do a completely fantastical version, it costs the same amount of money. So why not do things that would be prohibitively expensive in the real world? Because it's not going to cost you an extra dime if you do them in a CGI movie. So there were quite a lot of flying over London shots, which is cool because it lets you see a point of view that you don't ordinarily get simply because in the real world, doing these hugely expensive, slow pans over a city, zooming in between buildings and skimming over rooftops and such, are incredibly expensive. They're crane shots, they're copter shots. It's just a nightmare. Not to mention you have all kinds of things in the film that are going to be anachronistic because you're going to be doing this over a real existing city. You have to then remove them somehow. So doing this in a CGI film was a great use of the medium, and I appreciated it. I enjoyed the overviews. I enjoyed that bird's eye view. I thought that was very cool. And I expect the fantasy elements to be there because we are dealing with 3 ghosts, and we're dealing with time travel into the past, into the future. We're dealing with viewing things in the present that you can't see in real life. You're the ultimate voyeur, if you will. So those aspects I bought. I enjoyed them. I thought they were well done. Though the one section in the past with the Ghost of Christmas Past, which was very well done with the ghost appearing as a candle, that was pretty cool. Though I was surprised that the role was played by a male. I would assume a female on that one. For me, a flame would have been more appropriate for a female role, but that's just me. Maybe I'm being gender specific. They had the scene in Fezziwig's counting house, and they're showing them dancing, and they're dancing in ways that you can't dance in real life. And yes, I know it's a fantasy film. I know that it's CGI. But these are real people, at least supposed to be real people, and having them behave in ways that defy the laws of physics bugged me. These weren't supposed to be people on a journey with a ghost. They were just supposed to be people at a Christmas party. So that kind of bothered me. And then there was all these chase scenes, and my wife enjoyed the horse chase scenes. I thought they had gone too far. But then there was this entire section, this section of the film that was nothing more than a roller coaster ride that I thought was just completely inappropriate, had no place in the film, and just a waste of my time. I was disappointed with that section. I really didn't like it. But the film pulls at the heartstrings. The film is about redemption. And my entire life is about redemption. That's my goal, to be redeemed. So you can't go wrong with this film in my mind. You as long as you hit those redemptive notes, and they did, I can forgive a lot of things. So yes, this was a good film. I enjoyed it. The voice work was excellent. I enjoyed Jim Carrey's voice work. Bob Hoskins and Gary Olson were incredible. I enjoyed all three of their work. And if you enjoy this story, and you've seen it before, there's no one who's not seen this movie before unless you're like 4. I definitely recommend this film to anyone who gets a chance to see it while it's still in a theater, because it's almost gone. We could only find one theater in the entire area I live in where this was showing on Christmas Day, which is kind of strange, seeing it was a Christmas movie. But I enjoyed it. It was a good time. I just wish they had turned down the dial on some of the fantasy elements a little.